We are live.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our last quarterly webinar of 2015. I'm Cindy Duncan, and I am here with Dr. Felipe Jimenez and Mitchell Halpert, who is going to be presenting with me today. So thank you, everyone, for joining me, and thank you, everyone, for joining this call today. We really appreciate your time, especially at this very busy season where everyone's schedules are quite full.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cindy, for doing just a fantastic job of hosting our webinars. Really, truly appreciate it, and certainly look forward to another great webinar today.
Yeah, wonderful. So it's a perfect time to talk about brightening the skin and using our Silk Peel and Lumixyl technologies. And before we get into that, we are so excited to announce we're going to have another raffle. So make sure that you go into the chat section on the right side of the presentation and put in your name, your clinic name, and your email address, and we will be putting all the names into an area to pick and pick two winners, one from the morning call and one from the noon call. So you'll be able to win a full Lumixyl brightening system plus the trifecting night cream and the Revitalize. So that's going to be a great prize, and good luck to everybody who signs up. So make sure you do that in the chat area. And bright and healthy skin, this is, our mantra, obviously, with the Lumixyl line, but really the best time to work on hyperpigmentation and melasma is during the winter months. And when we combine the Lumixyl system, home care system, with the Silk Peel, the results are absolutely amazing. And really, we want to talk a little bit about hyperpigmentation and why treat it. Believe it or not, hyperpigmentation is the second most common skin concern right after acne. And let's face it, dark spots are really the new wrinkle. Even if a patient has a lot of Botox and filler, and they don't have a line in their face, but their face is discolored and they have loss of elasticity, it really doesn't make them look, youthful. And consumers out there are looking for products that really work synergistically. They want something that doesn't necessarily have to have a prescription, and they're really looking for gentle but effective ways to get rid of their uneven skin tones with very little irritation. So why use Lumixyl, and really what inspired the Lumixyl system? Dr. Felipe Jimenez, our Chief Scientific Officer, who's on the call today, he came from Obagi, as well as Curtis Clough, our CEO. So obviously they know HQ better than anyone, or just as well as anyone out there. And so Dr. Jimenez, tell us what inspired you to create the Lumixyl system, and then how is it different in the marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very, very good question. Back when we were at Obagi, we had a very curious statistic that we really never wanted to believe, but it was certainly true. We saw that roughly 20 to 30% of all new Obagi New Derm patient users would actually stop using the Obagi New Derm system within the first week or two, simply because they couldn't tolerate it. So they couldn't tolerate the irritation and some of the redness and peeling that they had early on. And so, we would certainly lose them. And so, we always thought, wow, if we could go back and really redesign the Obagi New Derm system, how would we do it? And obviously, the obvious question, or I'm sorry, the obvious answer was always, well, we could always, redevelop it to be as efficacious, but certainly more tolerable for skin. And we certainly didn't get a chance to do that when we were at Obagi, but when we came here to NB Medical, we certainly got our chance to do that. And so what we did is we came up with this 4 SKU system, that's really geared more towards people that certainly have sensitive skin, certainly for those people who,
Felipe, I'm sorry. Could you take the controls of the PowerPoint? It's not okay. There it goes. It went away from me. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah, no
I think we're
problem.
back. Go
Are, are,
ahead.
are you okay then on there?
I think so.
Okay,
Unless I'm not,
perfect.
I'll let you.
I'm still on the two slides back.
Yep, got it.
There you
Thank you.
go. And so we created this system really for people who have very sensitive skin, certainly for those people who just don't want to use hydroquinone because some of the side effects that they've read about, certainly online. And then obviously for those people that do need a maintenance regimen after they come off of using hydroquinone. And then obviously for those people who have been using hydroquinone for some time and just no longer receive the same benefit from using hydroquinone. So that's really the main impetus for why we really developed this 4 SKU system.
And what I love about this system too is that with the new formulations, there are no parabens, dyes, perfumes, any sort of chemicals, and so it's great for people that are looking for a system, but then they're very surprised to see how efficacious it is. And I think the first thing that people realize within hours is that their pores are minimized, and then there's only a few days where they start to see their skin smoothed out. Really, those small little travel kits that we'll talk about a little bit later are a great introduction because it's about a 5 or 6 day amount of the system, and boy, it really does kind of prove how efficacious just even in the first few days that system is, and then obviously it takes a little bit longer for the darkness to improve. But what we're looking at with the melasma, the PIH, the solar lenticose, as the system, the decapeptide 12 is being 17 times more potent than hydroquinone. Can you tell us, Dr. Jimenez, how does that mechanism work, and where did you find that peptide, and how did that come about?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Over at Stanford University, the way that they actually developed this particular peptide is that they actually did it on a computer program. So what they did is they went through and designed, probably, I think it was 1,200 different peptide sequences that they came up with. And what they did is they used a computer program to really dock these peptides onto the structure for the tyrosinase enzyme. And as you all know, the tyrosinase enzyme is the enzyme that can overproduce melanin in skin. And so that's how we came up with our decapeptide 12 sequence that we use. And what we noticed in the lab when we actually tested it is that it's 17 times more potent at inhibiting that tyrosinase enzyme when you compare it to hydroquinone. But the other wonderful thing that we noticed as well is that when you actually incubate this peptide along with hydroquinone with human melanocyte cells, our peptide actually does not kill the cell whatsoever, okay? As opposed to hydroquinone, that actually can kill the cell very easily. So not only does hydroquinone help to inhibit that tyrosinase enzyme, but it also kills the cell. So, that's another big difference between hydroquinone and certainly our peptide technology.
And can you discuss a little bit how, because it doesn't kill the cell, how that's different for kind of the activity of if someone does stop using HQ?
Yeah, that's another really, really good point because uh, as we talked about before, the way that hydroquinone works, obviously it helps inhibit that tyrosinase enzyme, but it also kills, if you will, the entire cell, that produces melanin in the first place, right? So if you've been using hydroquinone for the past 3 to 5 years, and let's say that you've already got, the type of results that you're looking for, and tomorrow you decide to just quit cold turkey, well, what happens is that once you stop using that hydroquinone, the melanocyte cells within your epidermis are actually free to repopulate, right? So you've killed off all of the old melanocyte cells that you've had there, and now you've got these brand new baby melanocyte cells that just, have repopulated your skin. So what happens is that these brand new melanocyte cells, they're going to make a lot more melanin than the old melanocytes that you had there in the first place. So that's why you are prone to get that rebound hyperpigmentation, which basically is hyperpigmentation that comes back worse than it was than before you started using that hydroquinone on skin. And as we said before, with decapeptide 12, since you don't kill that melanocyte cell, you don't have to worry about that rebound hyperpigmentation.
Right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go over the four products, and they definitely are, hero products as standalone. This Active Prep Cleanser is amazing if you use it in your back bar before any facial or treatment. Men love it. And again, this entire line is free of perfumes, dyes, parabens, any sort of artificial ingredients. But so, Dr. Jimenez, tell me what sets this cleanser apart, and why do we call it Active Prep?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when you look at what this cleanser does, it's really multifunctional. So it not only functions to cleanse the skin, but it also acidifies the skin to a pH of 3.5, which actually helps improve the transdermal penetration of key ingredients, not only in this particular product, but also, in our other key products that are in this particular system. So, the other wonderful thing that this particular product does is that it also helps to stop or actually slow down that overproduction of melanin in skin through the use of three botanical antioxidants that we have in this formulation as well. So if you know how melanin is made in the skin, right, you know that you have to successively oxidize an amino acid called tyrosine until it becomes melanin. Well, if you introduce antioxidants into the system, you're not going to be able to effectively do that. So we're actually going to slow it down. So it also bears mentioning also that for those of you who currently use the Obagi Nuderm system, our Active Prep cleanser actually does the very same thing that your Obagi cleanser and the toner do. So it's kind of a two-in-one product here for sure.
Perfect. And then the brightening cream obviously is our, workhorse of the system. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is a great product because it actually helps to, again, inhibit that overproduction of melanin in skin at the cellular level. And the way that it does that is through our decapeptide 12 technology, which, as we said before, does inhibit that tyrosinase enzyme. But we also include three other very potent antioxidants in there as well that also help to slow down that melanin production in skin. For those of you that use the Obagi system out there, this would be akin to what the Obagi Clear and Blender do for you within that system. And now, I just wanted to give you a very cool fact. I think over in Brazil, we launched this particular product, and that's all they sell in Brazil, just this product. And in less than a year, it became the #1 selling brightener in all of Brazil in its category. So, it's just a wonderful testament of how well it works. But as you all know, in Brazil, they have, darker skin types, probably more Fitzpatrick 3s and 4s out there. And so it just works perfect for those skin types.
Mm-hmm. And the Glycopeel in 10 and 20, both kits come with either a 10 or a 20. The 10, I think, again, is another standalone treatment that it's a dual treatment. It's a brightening exfoliator. So I always recommend this if someone wants to try one piece of the line to kind of get a taste of the Lumixyl technology. This is a great product to sell to them as a standalone because you've got that buffered glycolic that's great for cellular turnover, but then you also have the decapeptide 12 that is in that Glycopeel 10. The 20 obviously is for more tolerant skin types. A lot of patients like to use it for their hands and arms and also maybe do it for a once a week leave-on buffered peel. So there's a lot of multi-use with these two different glycolics that are in the system.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that people like doing with, especially with the Glycopil 20, is they like to use it for their feet, especially if they have, those really bad calluses there on their heels, which just works wonders for those. And for those of you that do use the Obagi Uterine system, these particular products do the same thing as your Exfoderm products that you would find in Obagi. And just to go back and review our science, what you're doing with these two products here is really exfoliating away those hyperpigmented layers of skin, certainly from the outside in. So that's really what these products are doing.
And the moisture lock, we have a great promotion at the end of this call that you guys can use this cleanser and moisture lock within your facials and your silk peel treatments. It absolutely is a three-in-one product where it is a very luxurious um, daily moisturizer with a chemical-free sunscreen that is now SPF 30 with the new FDA monograph, and then it has this, extra punch of an ingredient called some Helios 1031, which really mitigates the toxins so that you do not damage the cell, the DNA of the cell. So I'll let Dr. Jimenez explain in layman's terms, please, how some Helios 1031 really, benefits the skin in aging.
Absolutely. So SimHelios 1031 is really sort of your second line of sun protection. And the way that it works is that it helps to prevent these UV mediated toxins from actually getting into your keratinocyte cells and certainly your melanocyte cells. And so I'll give you just a quick rundown of how that works. So within your skin, obviously you're going to have your cells, your DNA, your proteins, your amino acids there. And there's one particular amino acid, it's called tryptophan. And when tryptophan comes in contact with UV rays in sunlight, it becomes, or it turns into a toxic form of that amino acid. But it's only toxic to your skin cells if it's able to get into these skin cells, right? So the way that it gets in is that it has to latch on to what we call a transport protein. So it's kind of like jumping onto a bus, right? This bus then takes it into the cell, it kind of deposits it there. Well, what SimHelios 1031 does is it never allows this toxin to get on that bus, right? So it's never transported into the cell, which is just fantastic because you prevent a lot of different things, like damage to your DNA, damage to your genes, upregulating genes, downregulating genes. So that's just a perfect complement, to the titanium dioxide, which obviously helps to, not only prevent sunburn, but also prevent the entry of these UV and UVB rays into your skin.
Yeah, so I love it that it's a preventative sunscreen. I think it's very unique, and I think you guys could do a really good job, when you explain that technology. It's pretty amazing. And Revitalize, definitely a huge cult following, not only in the U.S. but all over the world. It addresses all four concerns of aging around the eyes with puffiness, dark circles, fine lines and wrinkles, and then also the crepiness, even under the brow bone. Retail 65, very inexpensive, probably half the price of other eye creams out in the market that doesn't have our decapeptide 12. So it's like putting hydroquinone underneath your eyes to treat your dark circles, but it's gentle to your eye. Plus, we have all these other ingredients. So, Dr. Jimenez, tell us a little bit about the other key ingredients that really set this apart.
Yeah, besides having our decapeptide 12 technology, we also have what we call iron chelators, which is the chrysanthine hydroxysuccinimide and EDTA. What they do is they help to get rid of all those hemosiderin or iron deposits in that under eye skin, and these iron deposits really are the main cause of those dark circles. So we're able to clear out, the iron deposits with these ingredients, and we're able to improve certainly those dark circles there as well. The other thing that we do have there is shea butter and certainly several peptides and pea extract. And those are great for helping fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes. I just wanted to give you a curious fact here. Over in Japan, this particular product is actually used as a full face anti aging product under the Revital Lodge brand out there. For those of you who are big Obagi users, this product would actually do the same thing as both the Elastoderm eye cream and eye serum. I'm very familiar with the Elastoderm eye cream because I created it years ago back when I was at Obagi, and back then it was the number one selling eye cream for several years, and it probably still does very well. So, in this case with Revitalize, we really did kind of a two product in one with Revitalize, and it's worked just beautifully, for the eyes and certainly for the rest of the face.
Absolutely. You can start your own cult following in your own practices. And pads. Who doesn't love pads? They're very hot. They're fun for Christmas. They're great for stocking stuffers. They're great as an introduction to the Decapeptide 12. My patients love to use it on their hands, on their chest, throw it in their gym bag. You can use it as a toner in the system if you really like to have a toner even though it's not needed. And then it has some other calming ingredients in it. So pads are great. Everybody loves those. These are going to be a few before and after, so I'll let Dr. Jimenez kind of highlight what we're doing here. And I just wanted to remind everybody that these before and afters have absolutely nothing to do with SilkPeel. This is just the kit only by itself, that four-step simple Lumixyl kit.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's two things that I really want you to focus on in these before and after photos. Certainly you can see that the solar lentigine there is a lot better there by her nose, but also some of the very mild hyperpigmentation that she's got there in the malar region. But I think that you should also notice that her skin, after 12 weeks is not red, it's not peeling, it doesn't look inflamed or irritated whatsoever. So that's kind of the other benefit, from using Lumixyl is that you get, the great benefits of brightening the skin and certainly lightening up, those hyperpigmented spots. But at the same time, it's going to be very gentle on skin, so it's not going to cause any sort of collateral damage to it.
Well, even one step further, not even just, being gentle on skin, all of that redness is reduced and her texture of her skin is so much smoother. And her discoloration above her lip is what is it probably 70% removed.
Yeah, absolutely. And just her pore size, has been vastly refined as well. So again, as Cindy mentioned earlier on, this system is not simply for hyperpigmentation, but it's really going to give you an overall anti-aging benefit as well.
Absolutely.
In the next slide here, we see that the Obagi Neuderm system, I'm sorry, Obagi, the Lumixyl system actually works very, very well also for darker skin types. In this case, this was a study that we did over in South America in Colombia, and you can see that after 6 weeks, the hyperpigmentation there on the side of her face has vastly improved there, and you're starting to get a more even skin tone. And again, this is simply using the four SKUs that we have in that Lumixyl system. In the
So
next slide,
Well, the thing too, I just want to remind everybody too, when they're looking at this, is that it's not bleaching out the skin. It's just working on the overproduction of melanin and just targeting those cells.
absolutely, absolutely. We definitely don't want to bleach out skin, but we want to return your normal skin tone to where it
Mhm.
was before. Now, when you're treating deeper or what we call mixed melasma, that means that you've got hyperpigmented cells not only in your epidermis but also in your dermis. You see that we can definitely make a difference there as well. And in this case, after 24 weeks, you see that there's a nice improvement there in that hyperpigmentation. And again, it just goes to show you that, the more superficial that your hyperpigmentation is, the less time it's going to take to really resolve it. The deeper that it is, obviously the longer it's going to take. Case in
And then
proof.
also I wanted to point out too is that if you look underneath her eye, the top of her cheek, you'll see that there's a lot of anti-aging benefits there. That her skin looks more taut and it's got more elasticity.
Right.
Her entire eye area looks much younger.
Well, and it's simply how the light reflects off of her skin is a lot better, and
Hmm.
that just goes to show you that her skin tone and texture is certainly vastly improved from where she started back at baseline. In this particular slide here, we show you a picture of a young man that has very superficial hyperpigmentation. So you can see, that after 8 weeks, there's just a great improvement there. And again, like I said before, if the hyperpigmentation is more superficial, the kit is going to work just a lot faster for sure. In
Right.
this case, we're looking at a patient that definitely has more severe case of melasma. In this case, I believe she did use the Lumixyl kit that had the glycopil 20 in it. But even with the 20% glycolic acid that she used, you see that her skin is definitely not super, super red. It doesn't look like it's super irritated. But look at that. I mean, she's gotten some just really good results. I'd say, that her hyperpigmentation is probably improved, by over 65%,
In 12
in
weeks.
just 12 weeks. I mean,
Yeah.
usually you see these results, closer to 20 weeks. But again, just by using that glycopil 20, you can definitely accelerate the results that you can get, with this Lumixyl system.
hmm And then also, you guys are going to be getting a copy of this PowerPoint, so you'll have all this written down. But we just want to make sure that you had a chart of if you have other, favorite products like growth factors or vitamin C's, where would you put those into the lineup of the Lumixyl brightening system, so that, make sure that you review that for your clients and patients. And we wanted to really get to the trifecting night cream. This is a launch that we did at the AAD in March, and it has gotten such an amazing reception here in the U.S. And we're just very thrilled to have all of the practices that have taken this on have done extremely well with it. It never ceases to amaze me that when you go on different practices' websites, they'll have staff picks, and the Trifecting Night Cream is coming out as a lot of staff picks. There's a lot of big websites that are the doctor affiliated websites that are promoting it because they're getting such great feedback from their patient population. We have a 0.2 and a 1.0, and I'll let Dr. Jimenez talk to the strength of those. But what I think is so unique, it's definitely a unique category, because what we've combined here is two patented the one peptide, which is patented, which is the decapeptide 12, and the other patented combination ingredient of the bakuchiol and bisabolol, which is from the Clarity MD system. If you're not familiar, please reach out to get a sample of that, because that is just amazing. And then we paired it with a super high-tech time-released retinol, which I'll let Dr. Jimenez talk about in a second. And so what it does, it's a 3-in-1, one-stop shopping. If you're someone that's just super busy, you're not very compliant with many steps, this is a wonderful price point of $135 to be able to work on literally all aspects of aging. So Dr. Jimenez, do you want to talk a little bit about what parts of the skin we're hitting and why?
Yeah, absolutely. The reason that we came up with the trifecting night cream is really because we came to the realization that aging skin is not just about dark spots and fine lines and wrinkles, but now it's about adult acne. We definitely have to be able to address it. If you look at the literature, over the past 15 years, there's been probably a 40% increase in the incidence of adult acne. The problem with that is that you don't just see the adult acne happening in people in their 20s, but now you're seeing it more and more in people in their 30s and their 40s and now even their 50s. So now when we talk about really addressing, anti-aging concerns in skin, we definitely want to be able to address the dark spots, the fine lines and wrinkles, and certainly the acne blemishes. And that's why we came up with this trifecting night cream, and that's really what it does for your skin. Now, we came up with two different versions of this trifecting night cream, a version that has 0.2% retinol, and certainly another version that has 1% retinol as well. And the 0.2% version is really for those people who have never used retinoids in the past, to kind of get their skin acclimated to using retinoids. And then they can certainly bump up to using the 1% version. And the way that I kind of like to look at this is the 0.2% version is very much like the 0.025% version of tretinoin, whereas the 1% version of our trifecting night cream is more like the 0.05% version of tretinoin. And you'd be surprised, the kinds of results that people are getting just by using the trifecting night cream once a day at night. So that's really, why we created it. And it really was modeled after Galderma's Triluma product. If you all are familiar with that, it definitely has three different ingredients there that do three different things. But in our case, again, we should probably look at the trifecting night cream as more of a non-prescription version of Triluma, if you will, that really helps to do three things in one.
Well, as well as being much less irritating to the skin. So many more
Absolutely.
patients can tolerate this trifecta night cream and get amazing results without getting that over drying and over irritation.
Absolutely.
So here's some before and after. So if you want to kind of point out what you think is most important with these slides.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to point out one thing. Retinol, is actually very good, to help with redness in skin. As you can see here with the Trifecta Night Cream, we were able to really improve not only the redness here, but some of the hyperpigmentation, very mild hyperpigmentation that this patient had. So you can see after just 4 weeks, it's just a huge improvement there in the overall texture and tone of her skin. In the next slide, we see an example of what the Trifecta Night Cream can actually do for what we call recalcitrant solar lentigines. So these are solar lentigines that, wow, that they're so resistant to, different treatments out there. And usually the way that these are treated is by using a Q-switch laser, to really, get in there and really obliterate, those melanin particles that are there. But as you can see here, just by using the Trifecta Night Cream over 24 weeks, you can really see just a huge improvement there in that solar lentigine. But not only just in the dark spot, but if you look at the fine lines and wrinkles around her eyes, wow, there's just a super improvement there. Over time, and it just goes to show you, that this Trifecta Night Cream can give you an overall anti-aging benefit. And again, it's multifunctional. It goes after different aspects of aging and skin, and it's just a perfect product to use, especially if you're the type of person, that doesn't want to use multiple steps. Definitely this is the product for you.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about silk peel and how that takes all of these results to a whole new level when you combine these two technologies. And again, the winter time is the best time to really reach out to your patient population, and have them take a look at their own skin and really look and say, I do need some brightening. I do need some lightening. My skin is dull. I have some age spots. I have some melasma. I have some sun damage. And you can really use this system as well as the silk peel, not only for your face, but your décolleté. There's lots of hyperpigmentation and sun damage on your back and arms and hands that's really great to address during the winter months. The SilkPeel Dermalinfusion technology, this is a great slide because I know everyone that has a SilkPeel, you know what it does. You know how great everybody looks after even one treatment. But I want you guys to sort of just be so proud of what you excuse me.
Bless
You're so
you.
proud of what you can deliver to your patients, which is totally unique. So with this dermal fusion technology, what we're doing is the diamonds are recessed. So that means that the skin is sucked up to the diamond head. So what that means is that it is controlled by the silk peel device. So no matter who's doing the silk peel or at what time or on what patient, it will absolutely give them a completely uniform and controlled depth of exfoliation as well as infusion. And we've come up with the perfect sweet spot, 40 to 50 microns, which is the perfect amount of exfoliation that you need to get full penetration of the skin-specific solutions that we have patented that your patients can take advantage of. The other thing that I just want to remind everybody is that they look so great after a silk peel is because we literally have created 70% more volume in their skin, and that is right after a 20-minute treatment, and that's going to last for the next 72 hours. And every time they get a silk peel, they're going to get thicker, firmer, healthier, younger acting skin. So not only are they doing that deep pore cleansing of, I call it a wet dry back, where we're literally exfoliating and extracting all of the blackheads, whiteheads, sebum, any dirt and oil, and then it's all delivered into the waste jar. So that is so fun to show people at the end of their treatment, their waste jar, and they can look at their eyes, their lips, they can see that their wrinkles are diminished, everything's more plump and full and firm, and their lips look amazing. So I just wanted to remind everybody that I think sometimes we forget how many things that this treatment is doing just in a 20-minute time slot. So you're literally getting 6 benefits that are medically therapeutic, that is going to actually change their skin in a 20-minute treatment. So we're not, because people love to know that we are detoxifying the skin with lymphatic drainage. They love to know that their collagen is being stimulated, that they're getting increased circulation, because we all know as you increase your circulation, you exercise, you feel better, you look healthier. And so all these things are happening simultaneously. So I think it bears repeating just what's happening as we give our patients these silk peel procedures, and that's why they love it and won't stop coming back. Just a couple fun facts here, and just want to let you know that, just remind everybody that we are a global company, and you're in good company. There's over 2,500 silk peel treatments are performed worldwide every day. So you're part of a nice big family that's very proud of being able to really provide skin-changing benefits without a lot of or any downtime or any irritation or discomfort. So it's very, very unique. The other thing that's so unique that I just want to remind everybody is that you've got 2 proprietary blends that are patented. So no one can take advantage of the Clarity MD combination for acne, as well as the Lumixyl Decapeptide 12 for any sort of dark spots or uneven skin tone. And then our vitamin C is super popular with your more sun damage patients to stimulate more collagen. And then obviously hydrating is a go-to for sensitive skin or anyone that just is feeling kind of dry, and like pre and post laser treatments and chemical peels, which Mitch will talk to you in just a few minutes. So Dr. Jimenez, can you just quickly go over these before and afters and kind of let us know what we should be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that the before and after photos that you're going to be looking at here were just done with SilkPeel. Okay, so we didn't use our Lumixyl system on here whatsoever. And as you can see here, after just 8 weeks, I mean, there's just a huge improvement there in her melasma. And again, like I said before, with more superficial type of hyperpigmentation, obviously it's going to be a faster type of a treatment than if you have, deeper hyperpigmentation. In this case, she had more superficial hyperpigmentation. It really made just a huge difference. In the next
The other
slide.
thing I want to mention too is that this is only 5 treatments, so it's not a huge
Absolutely.
investment for somebody.
Absolutely. As we talked about before, with East Asian skin, they tend to get the sunspots, the solar lentigines, and that's really the hallmark of photoaging in their skin. And as you can see here, after 10 weeks and only 6 silk peel procedures done once every 2 weeks, there's just a huge difference there, in the appearance of those solar lentigines. And again, we're only using SilkPeel here. We're definitely not using any of the Lumixyl take-home products here as well. So
And
that
you can
just goes
see
to
that
show you.
decapeptide really works on anti-aging as well as the cell turnover with the exfoliation.
Well, absolutely. Our Decapeptide 12 technology certainly works on the dark spots, but wow, I mean, look at what the exfoliation and certainly the Dermalinfusion does also just for the overall anti-aging, benefit to the skin. Her skin tone, her texture, just the way that the light bounces off her skin is so much better. So you're
Mm-hmm.
really getting a full anti-aging benefit here. For traditional photo damage, I mean, you can see here, the mottled hyperpigmentation, the leathery look to the skin, the fine lines and wrinkles, the sunspots here. It's just incredible that just after 4 SilkPeel dermal infusion treatments done over 10 weeks, I mean, you just get a full transformation here in the skin. And again, it just goes to show you that SilkPeel doesn't just go after a single indication, but it goes after multiple indications. And this is just a perfect way of looking at that. The next 2 slides, we just wanted to make sure that we drove home the point, that you can definitely tailor SilkPeel to different indications. In this case, we're looking at, the treatment of inflammatory acne and certainly the improvement of some acne scarring there. And it's just perfect for that. This is after 10 weeks and 5 different SilkPeel dermal infusion treatments done every 2 weeks. You can see just a huge transformation there in his skin. In the next slide, you can see that you can also use it for treating photo damage also in the body. This is a décolletage area here. You can see that, just by doing 5 different SilkPeel dermal infusion treatments over 8 weeks, you can just see just a huge improvement there in that photo damage and certainly in the solar lentigines.
And the SilkPeel Brightening Facial is so easy to do. You use the Active Prep Cleanser. Many facilities use the Clarisonic brush to cleanse the skin. Then you perform the SilkPeel treatment with the lymphatic drainage technique. And then you're going to apply the brightening cream to the face and neck. And then also, if you want to add in the Revitalize Eye Cream, that is a great little add-on. And then apply the Moisture Lock sunscreen. And it's wonderful because you really can sell quite a few products in the back bar when you're applying them to your patient and explain to them, why you're doing it and what the feature benefits are of those products. We also have another chart here that talks to how frequently we'd like to see treatments. So it just kind of depends on how quickly your patient can come back to the practice. But if you're having mild melasma, we'd like to see you every 2 weeks. In a perfect world, moderate severe, we'd like to see you every week until they're gone. Maybe 6 to 8 treatments, and then 2 weeks or maybe monthly maintenance when you get to the point of where you're happy with your skin. Every patient that comes into your practice should be on a monthly maintenance SilkPeel, even if they're just coming in for Botox or if they're just coming in for filler, because really it's going to enhance any other procedure you do, make it more long-lasting, make it more comprehensive, because really, Botox and filler can't do anything for the tone and texture of your skin. So it really is a kind of closing, I call it like the Lion King. It's the circle of life, and you really need to do all the parts of the circle as opposed to just 1 or 2 pieces, because that's just not a comprehensive result for your patients, and that's what they're looking for. The system with the SilkPeel, we'd like to have them start the Lumixyl system a week before and then use twice daily as they're using the SilkPeel series of series, as well as we just want to make sure that people don't use the glycopeel or the trifecting or any other retinol or retin-A 48 hours pre-post the SilkPeel Brightening Facials. That means that way we can do a nice aggressive treatment and get as much exfoliation infusion as we can. I'm going to now hand it off to Mitch Halpert, who is one of our regional educators, and he has some great marketing tips for you to be able to combine the love of SilkPeel with other procedures that you're doing in your practice.
Thank you, Cindy, and thank you everyone for joining today. Now that Dr. Jimenez and Cindy have effectively explained the technologies of both Lumixyl and SilkPeel, I'd like to take those concepts and provide some strategic marketing and practice building ideas. A few overarching points. I really encourage using the words diamond, dermal, and fusion when explaining our technology. Sometimes SilkPeel makes people think it's a chemical peel, and the word microdermabrasion really doesn't do justice to the technology. Also, in general, whether it's in office or online, words like diamond and dermal infusion may be more attractive and intriguing to your patients, which in turn could lead to more inquiries about the technology itself. And then with Lumixyl, I always tell patients and doctors, first and foremost, that it's a peptide and that it was developed at Stanford University, which builds a little more trust in the brand. To take it more specifically, as you see on the first slide here, we have SilkPeel and IPL or BBL, which is broadband light. A clever little name you can call it is IPL Platinum. Basically what you'll do is have one IPL treatment, and then 1 to 3 weeks later, you'll do a SilkPeel dermal infusion with the Lumixyl serum. I like to use analogies with marketing and strategizing, so you can think of it like a car. The IPL is really doing the leather interior, maybe taking out some of the dents, and then the SilkPeel is redoing the paint and getting the car washed and clean. When you do both, you have a better comprehensive result, you have a brand new looking car, so on and so forth. In terms of pricing, most offices will charge roughly $300 for one IPL treatment, and then maybe $150 for a SilkPeel, which brings your total to $450. If you package them together, however, you can offer a discount such as $399 to your patient. So not only do you look more cutting edge and revolutionary as a practice, you're going to give the patient better results and higher satisfaction, and you're also going to save them money. So now you're actually looking at a win-win across all spectrums of the practice. One other thing to consider is IPL is in most cosmetic practices throughout the country, meaning you have a ton of competition. By stacking it with something like SilkPeel, you're now differentiating yourself from the competition, which is going to be very important as you go forward and as these devices are in more and more practices. A more advanced idea for this protocol is called, IPL Platinum Plus, and that would basically be the same protocol, but you would throw in our trifecting night cream. This is great for patients that may have some financial concerns because the trifecting night cream will last for 2 to 3 months, and it's very easy and simple to use as an all-in-one product. It's going to save your patient a lot more money than buying 6, 7, 8 products, and also they'll be more patient compliant, which means better results as well. If you're going to do the IPL Platinum Plus, let's say we took that $399 IPL Platinum discount, the trifecting night cream is normally $135. What I would suggest is dropping it to $100. So the package would then be $499 total, which would include the trifecting night cream, 1 IPL, and 1 SilkPeel. Also, the previous slide that showed the patient's décolleté is a great example of someone that can get an IPL on their chest and décolleté, as well as the back of their hands. And then you can follow up with the SilkPeel on that area, and you can even use the trifecting night cream on that area. So keep in mind that this IPL Platinum and IPL Platinum Plus is not just for the face, but can also be used on the body. Moving on to the next packages, we have what we call the Silver Bright and the Ultimate Bright. The Silver Bright is going to be incorporating our SilkPeel Lumixyl treatments with our Lumixyl Brightening system, the 4-step system that we have. A lot of offices really love our products, especially when they've tried them, but sometimes it's hard to market and promote when you also have bigger companies' products like SkinCeuticals, SkinMedica, etc. But in my opinion, when you stack them together, you're going to give your patients better results, and it's going to make more sense from a sales and marketing standpoint because our at-home products have the same ingredients as the in-office procedure. So instead of having to try to sell them and convince them to use our products, simply bundle it all together and explain to your patients that, hey, this is the best at-home care for the in-office procedure, and of course having a nice name like Silver Bright is going to be more intriguing and more appealing to the everyday person. If you want to take it a step further, just like the IPL Platinum Plus, the Ultimate Bright package would be the same 2, 3, 4 SilkPeel treatments packaged together with our topical brightening system, and then also the trifecting night cream. This is going to be for patients that have more problematic pigmentation concerns. But regardless of whichever one of these 2 packages you select, you'll have your patient come back every 2 to 4 weeks for a SilkPeel treatment, and they'll be using the products at home as well. So this is a great, easy way to synergize our skincare with the SilkPeel dermal infusion procedure. It should help get more patients exposed to the skincare products. And of course, you're going to increase and expedite as well as elongate the overall anti-aging pigmentation reduction benefits with all of the products and the total protocol as a whole.
So Mitch, how would you price those?
So I would price, if you're going to do, let's say, 3 SilkPeel treatments, and once again, we'll take the 150 average for the Silver Bright, that would be $450 total. I would drop it down to maybe $399 for buying those 3 SilkPeels. Our brightening system is $288. You can drop that down anywhere from $40 to $50 and then combine the price just like we did with the previous packages. So you're looking at anywhere from maybe $599 to $650 if you bundle them all, which is going to save your patients anywhere from $100 to $200. And then with the Ultimate Bright, you can take that same pricing and then once again drop the trifecting night cream to $100 instead of $135 and just tack that on to the price. So you're still going to make a nice profit on these products, and the nice part is you're going to have the patients pay for it all up front. So you'll get a larger sum of money up front And then once again, you're going to be providing them a more well-rounded approach to their specific concerns.
And then they'll repurchase SilkPeels, they'll repurchase the Lumixyl products, and then you have a nice stream there.
Exactly. And your marketing ability just goes through the roof, where you can get more creative with different names, different packages, so on and so forth. The last protocol is chemical peels, and of course, as many of you currently use, chemical peels is one of the most popular, long-lasting, consistently stable markets in skincare and cosmetics. Just like IPL, chemical peel is going to lift everything to the surface. You can do a silk peel 2 to 4 weeks later, and what you'd like to do is stack them. You do one chemical peel, a couple weeks later a silk peel, and you go back and forth. Now, when I've spoken to a lot of offices, they say, yeah, we encourage our patients to do a silk peel a few weeks later. Well, instead of encouraging them, don't give them the option, have it as a package, and then explain this is the best overall approach to your skin, right? And once again, you're looking more cutting edge. In my opinion, you look more professional and competent as a practice by thinking more outside the box and combining these therapies. And really, this wave of skincare right now is combination therapies. So for pricing a chemical peel, silk peel plus, which you can call chemical peel plus, if your chemical peel is, let's say, $100 to $150, your silk peel, once again, we'll just say $150. So you're looking at $200 to $250 or $250 to $300. You can drop the price anywhere from $25 to $50 if they buy a package together. And then if you want to sell 2 or 3 chemical peels and 2 or 3 silk peels, you can just discount it even further because the patient is buying in bulk. And the last one that we have here is the Chemical Peel Elite. It's the exact same concept, but you're going to bundle in the trifecting night cream. Once again, you can drop about $35 off the trifecting night cream price as just an easy whole number, bringing it down to $100. And they would use that in between their chemical peels and their silk peel dermal infusions. And overall, just to reiterate once again, I can't stress enough how when you combine these therapies, your patients are going to get better, quicker results. You're going to have a higher satisfaction. You're going to make more money. And really, your whole approach to skincare is going to be more cutting edge and advanced. And as a company, we're happy to help with specific situations you may have in your office in terms of giving you marketing and promotional ideas and support, even pricing ideas and options as you go forward. But the more you stack and combine these therapies, in my opinion, the more successful you'll be across the board at your cosmetic practice. And lastly, to help you implement some of these ideas, Cindy's going to explain our wonderful webinar specials we have that will directly incorporate our silk peel solutions and our skincare.
Great, thank you, Mitch. I really appreciate that. That was some great information. So just want to let everybody know that these are wonderful promotions. They're expiring on December 21st. So that is a week from Monday. So the 21st falls on a Monday. So you have the rest of this week and the following week, and then they have expired. So please use the reference code WinterWebinar2015 when ordering. And just wanted to review, we've got the patient rewards bundle. So if they purchase, or if you purchase a Lumixyl system, the GlycoPeel 10 kit, NV Medical is going to give you for free a revitalized eye cream, a trifecting night cream, and a deluxe travel kit. So that really gives you a lot of flexibility of being able to decide what you want to give away. If you just want to give away a trifecting night cream as they purchase a GlycoPeel kit, or if you want to give away an eye cream. I really like the travel kits as giving those away either for, or selling those for bag stuffers, or giving them away as a gift with purchase if they buy certain parts of the Lumixyl line. I also like down the road the deluxe travel kit. If you're doing silk peel packages, that's a great starter kit as well if you don't want to have your clients start on the Glyco 10 full size. It's a great sort of teaser, like I mentioned. If they just use it for 4 or 5 days, they really can see an immediate benefit in their skin, and it's really a great way to get people to buy into the full system. So this gives you a lot of value. It's literally, 50% off wholesale. You buy one and get one free. You can't beat any better discount than that. And again, for you to be able to give these away and do these sell-throughs with these promotions with the point of sales we're going to be giving you, it really does get your patients to be able to try something that you're not necessarily discounting. You're doing it as a gift with purchase. And a gift with purchase means that they're not going to think that that retail item is worth less than the regular retail price. So it's a better way than just discounting. And so the gift with purchase is definitely the way to go. So that is a way for you to expand your business without impacting your bottom line, because NV Medical literally is giving it to you for free. With the next promotion, the Brightening Facial Bundle, this we've put together so that you can provide 12 packages, 12 packages of 3, and you can give away a trifecting night cream when your client or patient comes in and purchases the package of 3 of SilkPeels for the Brightening Facial Bundle. So you'll buy 3 cases of Lumixyl serum solution, and then we'll give you 12 trifecting night creams, 3 active prep cleansers, and 3 moisture lock sunscreens. So that's a wholesale value of $950, and your investment is $1,000. So again, we're close to 50% discount. And the 3 active prep cleansers and moisture lock sunscreens are for your back bar. So as you're doing that, brightening facial, you can really talk about why you all love and utilize the cleanser and moisture lock sunscreen in the facial protocol, and you'll be really surprised of how many products you can sell from the back bar. So the other thing I wanted to thank Amy and Brenda, they did such a nice job on our patient materials. So this is a flyer that you can put in your waiting room, by your point of sale, anywhere in the practice, that talks about SilkPeel Brightening Facial, so people can kind of get a sense of, just sort of what you have to offer. And so this is sort of like your silent salesperson. So feel free to print these out and put these all over the practice. It's great for wintertime. And really, her skin is really what you can achieve when you're using the Lumixyl technology with the home care, as well as the SilkPeels. The other 2 patient materials that we have is to talk about getting a free trifecting night cream with your purchase of your package of SilkPeel Brightening Facials. And then also we have another flyer that you can put next to your trifecting night cream on the shelf, and really talk about the next generation multi-effect products. So we're going to be creating more of these to send out to you, so that you can send these out in email blasts and print them out for your offices and have them by your point of sale, so we can really kind of help you make a nice presentation for your patients to have more information. I also wanted to let everybody know that the poster on the left is now available, and it is free of charge to you. So all you have to do is request a poster when you place your order, and if you need more than one, that's fine. And so that is a wonderful poster over there. We've got some great feedback, so you can put that up, like maybe in your treatment room, down your hallway, so people really know kind of what they can expect, and that you are offering the Diamond Dermal Infusion. And then I also love these gift certificates. They're just gorgeous for Christmas, and also the Diamond gift certificate. So these are also going to be in an email blast from your educator. So if you're not getting that over the next day or 2, reach out to them to make sure that they've got your correct email address. And again, make sure that you order the posters when you order your specials. We also have lots of marketing support. So if you don't have, in-office brochures for any of the products that we talked about today, we have those. So just ask your educator or customer service, and they'll be happy to add those to your orders. And TV shows love us. We're always on Entertainment Tonight. We're always on The Doctors. All of the famous actresses use SilkPeel right before the Oscars every year. The Diamond Youth Facials at the Beverly Hills. It's not the Hilton. What is it?
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons. And yeah, so they're getting $350 a SilkPeel. So it's all about how you market it. But the actresses love it. All of the people in the music industry. So it's definitely something that celebrities have really found. And when you look at bright glowing skin, it's usually because of the SilkPeel. The other thing I want to remind everybody is that we're going to be uploading all of these quarterly webinars onto Envy University. And at the bottom of this slide, you'll see the website for Envy University. And it also has 11 short instructional videos. So if you have a new hire, if somebody needs a refresher and they really need to kind of see the procedure of lymphatic drainage, their eyes, their lips, any of the body parts, that is all on Envy University. So if you haven't taken advantage of looking at those videos, I definitely encourage you to do so. And we just wanted to say thank you. We really appreciate your time and attention. I know the holidays are so incredibly busy, so we really do appreciate you giving us your hour of your day. And we're excited to pull those raffles. So there'll be 2 lucky winners that will get quite a big bundle of Lumixyl products, including that trifecta night cream and eye cream. And remember that the code is Winter Webinar 2015. The promotions, you can buy more than one. So if you want to buy 12 Lumixyl systems, you'll get 12 sets of that gift that we're presenting. Same thing with the Lumixyl serum purchase. You know, you can buy, 6 or 9 or 12 cases of Lumixyl solution, and then you will get exactly that equivalent of free product to go, because really these brightening facials are not only going to go really year round, but it's only December, so you've got January, February, March that you can really push dull winter skin, working on hyperpigmentation and dark circles. So that is, I think, would be wonderful for your bottom line, and just something fun for your patients to get freebies, because you want to, at this time of year, to also say thank you to your population, your patient group, and give them some wonderful gifts to say we really appreciate you as a customer, just like Envy Medical appreciates you all as our customers. So if you have any specific questions, or if you had a hard time signing up on the chat box, I had a couple people from this morning email me directly to make sure they got in for the raffle prize. Feel free to do that. And then also, if you have questions, either marketing or bundling, or even image suggestions of what you'd like to see in the future, we would be happy to hear from you, because we do appreciate you, and we want to make sure we're here for you to grow your business and make sure that your patients are happy and are getting great results. So thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Dr. Jimenez. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And Dr. Jimenez, do we have any questions?
Yeah, let me go through some of these here. Got just a few here. We'll start at the very top here. Okay, so the first question comes to us from Marie. Marie asks, will the slides be available after the webinar to save? And the answer is yes. I believe we're going to be making those available either through email, or we'll go ahead and send you a link.
They'll be both. They'll email and link, and it'll be on Envy University, but they'll get an email with all of the attachments from the educator.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Let's see, next question. I think there was one other question. Yep. Okay, this other question comes to us from Twani. She asks, would the brightening pads be used instead or in conjunction with the brightening cream? You can definitely use the brightening pads as a standalone product, especially if you're having like a SilkPeel procedure done. You can definitely use them before and after SilkPeel, or even before and after a laser procedure. You can also use the pads along with the entire Lumixyl system. You would definitely cleanse your skin first with our Active Prep cleanser, then you would apply the pads, kind of like a toning step. And then you would then apply the brightening cream thereafter. But yeah, I mean, you can definitely use the brightening pads as a standalone, or you can use it in conjunction with the brightening cream for sure. Let's see, do we have another question here? Just looking down. Okay, so we have another question here from Christina Martinez. She asks, can we compare a Moisture Lock sunscreen versus other sunscreens? This is a very, very good question. So the way to really compare our Moisture Lock sunscreen to other sunscreens is to really look at the difference between a physical sunscreen and a chemical sunscreen, right? So the physical sunscreen, what it does is it forms a barrier on your stratum corneum, right? So that barrier basically does not allow the UVA and UVB rays from actually penetrating into the skin, right? So it keeps that energy outside of the skin. Okay, so when you compare that to a chemical sunscreen, so a chemical sunscreen, what it does is it actually penetrates into the viable layers of the epidermis, right? So when you're out in the sunlight, what happens is that it helps to absorb the energy from UVA and UVB rays, and it helps to just spread that evenly, in the skin. And by doing that, you're really able to prevent sunburn from happening. But the problem is it's not really just the sunburn that causes the hyperpigmentation. It's just the energy in these UVA and UVB rays, that cause that hyperpigmentation in the skin. So, when you look at, our physical sunscreen, versus chemical sunscreens out there on the market, you see that, for hyperpigmentation, for preventing hyperpigmentation, certainly from preventing photo damage as well, it's better to use a physical sunscreen like our Moisture Lock sunscreen, because it really helps to prevent the entry of that energy into the skin that really causes the photo damage, that certainly causes the hyperpigmentation as well. Now, the other great thing, that we talked about before is that not only do we have, titanium dioxide in our product, but we also have that Symhelios 1031 ingredient that really helps to kind of scavenge, if you will, any toxins that are made, from exposure to UVA and UVB rays and sunlight. So, that's really the way that our product really differs from other sunscreens on the market today.
And the other thing I might mention is that, make sure you have your patients look at the ingredient list, because a lot of companies will say physical block, UVA, UVB, broad spectrum, but then they hide a couple chemical sunscreens in there, and I don't know why they do it. They still not believe in physical blocks, even though all of the testing and the data, but they hide a couple chemicals in there, and then that's going to really undo what you're doing with hyperpigmentation, because literally the chemicals in those formulations are going to create energy, which is then going to exacerbate the melasma or hyperpigmentation. So make sure there's no chemical sunscreen components, even if it has some physical block. And the other thing that I speak to on our it is a daily moisturizer in and of itself that's very luxurious, and it's a preventative physical block sunscreen. So it's a preventative moisturizer that has an SPF 30 that's chemical free, paraben free, dye free, perfume free. So people love it. So all you have to do is try it.
Absolutely. We've got a follow-up question here from Christina Martinez. She asks what the age range is for Revitalize. There really isn't a set age range for using Revitalize. However, I will tell you that, over the years, we have seen, young ladies as young as 16 years old using Revitalize and getting very nice results from it. So I would say probably, 16 and above, I think would be appropriate for using Revitalize for sure.
And don't forget that men, need eye creams too, and this one is so fabulous. It soaks in immediately. It's, again, perfume free. It is the lightest, most effective eye cream. And so if somebody really doesn't want to wait for their eye cream to soak in, or they don't want anything that's heavy, if they want to be able to reapply it during the day, it's a great, great product.
Absolutely. We've got another question here from Rebecca Williams from Albany, Georgia. She asks, how long does it take the sunscreen to absorb? Is it cakey? In our case, it doesn't take very long for it to absorb. So basically what you want to do when you apply the Moisture Lock sunscreen onto your skin, the first thing that you're going to notice is that it takes on kind of a pinkish hue on the skin. And what you want is you want to keep rubbing it in until it completely dries. Once it completely dries, there's going to be no chalky residue on the skin. There's going to be, it's not cakey at all. Definitely does not leave an oily residue on skin whatsoever. So it just takes some rubbing to get it in, but it shouldn't take more than a minute or so, for
the
it to
other thing
completely
too, I want to
soak in.
remind everybody that when you're doing the SilkPeel procedures, make sure you put a nice amount of the Moisture Lock moisturizing sunscreen on their lips, especially when you do a lip treatment, because people are not used to getting their lips exfoliated in the way that we do that with the SilkPeel. And so it's great because it really does target the cells to reproduce, and you get nice new lip tissue, and that way you can prevent chapped lips. But you just want to make sure you're putting a nice amount of that moisture lock on their lips to make sure they don't feel like they're dry right after they have the treatment. So make sure that you're doing that.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to remind everybody, if you do want to enter for that raffle, if I could have you just certainly provide your name and also your contact information here in the questions box, that will certainly help us to reach out to you if you are one of the lucky winners.
Yeah, and I realized too on that first slide, I said 353, but I forgot we're doing trifecting night cream too, so it's really more like $500 worth of retail.
Wow.
So it's a great, great price. So make sure before we sign off on the webinar, you get into that chat box. And then if you miss it, email me at Cindy@MD Medical if you had a hard time getting into the chat box. Because I want everyone to be able to have the ability to win that amazing product.
Absolutely. And I think that's our last question here. Again, if you do have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us. You've got Cindy's, both her email and certainly her telephone number here. If you didn't get a chance to sign up for that raffle, please make sure you send Cindy an email with your name and your contact information, and we'll be more than happy to answer you.
And the promos end on the 21st. So I would reach out to your educator, kind of check your inventory, see what you need for the rest of the December holiday and into the new year, and take advantage of those discounts. And we'll send you those flyers. You can print those up and start, selling tons of SilkPeel packages and getting people hooked on the Lumixyl system, the eye cream, the trifecting night cream. It's very unique, and once people, experience it, they're very loyal. So don't miss that opportunity of that great market.
Absolutely. Well, Cindy, I don't think we have any other questions here.
Okay.
So I just wanted to take this time to just say thank you again to everybody who joined us today for this webinar. I truly appreciate you spending the time with us, and I just wanted to take the time to wish everybody happy holidays, and definitely hope to see you again, hear you again next year at our very next webinar.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you, Cindy. I really appreciate all your help, and happy holidays.
You too.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.